Hey guys. All right, so you're going to get a little reprieve from reading today, but we're going to do two other things, both dealing with Chapter 3 and kind of everything we've read up to this point, because, it's English and we got to do different stuff even if we're not reading. So you should have this document shared to you via Google Classroom. It's called the Animal Within Annotation, as you can see right up here, and you're going to be annotating directly onto it, following the directions that are in this sidebar over here. So the first thing that I ask you to do is to highlight in yellow all the passages that describe Jack with animalistic tendencies, right? So right off the bat, hopefully you notice that this first line, he was bent double, his nose only a few inches from the human earth, is kind of a strange thing for him to do. And it seems a little bit animalistic. So you would take the yellow color for your highlighter, and you would just click and drag, okay? Or click and drag, then do your yellow highlighter, and it'll mark it in yellow. The other thing it wants you to do is to comment on what animal this highlighted section brings to mind. So you're just going to click this add a comment button right here, and you're going to say, it seems like he's a dog. And you're going to hit comment, and it'll be right out there for you. You are also going to highlight descriptions of the setting in blue. So once again, this second sentence, or third sentence actually, the tree trunks and the creepers that festooned them lost themselves in a green dusk 30 feet above, and all about was the undergrowth, is a great example. That's not what I wanted to do. Is a great example of that setting. So we're going to do that in light blue. And then it says to annotation commenting on what mood that description creates in the reader, right? So the fact that it is covered in creepers and there's this green dust 30 feet above him and there's undergrowth everywhere, I think makes it seem claustrophobic, which I spelled wrong. Evidently, Miss McLean can't spell claustrophobic. Aha, there it is. I think makes it seem claustrophobic. So I'm going to hit comment, and then I'll know that that green part has that comment. The last thing it wants you to do is in green highlight at least 5 literary devices, or highlight 5 literary devices, at least 3 different ones, and identify the literary device that is being used, right? So I'm going to say, then, let's use that one. I'm going to do this. His sandy hair, considerably longer than it was, lighter now. I'm going to highlight that in green because it's a literary device. I'm going to add a comment that this is an example of visual imagery, and I'm going to hit comment. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing for the annotation portion, right? And then here at the bottom it says, by these descriptions and diction, how does the author want us to view Jack? List at least 3 character traits gleaned from this section. So at the bottom there'll be a little part for those 3 character traits, and you'll just kind of tell us, what do you think Jack is being described as and why? Okay. Once you finish that, and you're going to move over to the Animal Within presentation, and I'm just going to kind of run you through what some of these things mean real quick. So we're going to be taking a look at basically different animal styles and how they relate to conflict, right? So, for example, pit bulls. Some people are pit bulls. These are people that when it comes to conflict, they like to argue, they like to debate, they might be thought of as threatening or aggressive, and sometimes they're intimidating, right? So those are kind of the negatives, right? They have a hard time resolving conflict because they want to be the ones that win. However, if they're on your team, then they are really good at both, making sure that your team's idea is the one that gets put forth. They show you all of the opposing viewpoints, that kind of thing. So those people would be pit bulls. Next, we have golden retrievers. And much like the golden retriever, these people are sweet. They're people-pleasing. Maybe they're a little simple, right? They're loyal. But they will follow the person that they are loyal to the ends of the earth, whether that person is right or not. They're not really great at making firm decisions because as people pleasers, they want to make sure that everybody is happy, which is not always possible. But because they have this caring nature and they're sweet and all those kinds of things, they can be very helpful for morale when it comes to a team. Next, we have roadrunners, and these are people that just run away from conflict. They don't like it. So when conflict erupts, or when they're about to be confronted, or when they just think that a situation is going to erupt in conflict, they leave. This makes them very difficult to resolve their problems. But, if you give a roadrunner enough time to reflect and to prepare, sometimes they can be kind of eased into the idea of being able to share what they feel, but they're going to be non-confrontational, right? These are people that if you come at them hard are just going to go the other direction. Cobras, on the other hand, are like roadrunners in that they don't approach the person they have conflict with, but unlike a roadrunner who just runs away, the cobra is going to go talk to everybody else about the problem that they have, right? So the good thing is that they talk through issues, they receive multiple opinions before they come to a consensus, but the bad thing is that if you do that in a sneaky way, you can be perceived as two-faced or scheming, and that's not really a great thing to be. Last one I believe we have is eagles, all right? And these are people who think that conflict is an opportunity to influence the situation, right? So eagles are going to be your leaders. They're going to listen. They're going to repeat what other people say. They're going to calmly state their opinions. They're going to have a growth mindset, right? Eagles are kind of like a mentor, right? They like to mediate between, maybe like a pit bull and a roadrunner. Two people who normally wouldn't be able to actually come to a consensus that would fit both of them, right? Most of the time the roadrunner is just going to run away and the pit bull is going to get what they want. The eagle would be able to come in there and make sure that everybody gets what they want. We'll try and fix things to a side of fairness. So what you're going to do is you're going to match these characters to an animal conflict style. You can use one animal more than once. You may not use some of these animals at all. Or you can even claim that a character is a mixture of two of these conflict styles. Just make sure that you explain your choices. Pull at least one example from the novel of support. It does not have to be a direct quote, but it can be as well. So you're going to be doing this for Ralph, Jack, Simon, Piggy, the choir, the little ones, Roger, and yourself, so that we can learn what kind of conflict style you have. If you have any questions, just make sure to hop onto Zoom and I'll be glad to help you out. All right, bye guys.